Hello and welcome to my biology and art research. For this project we were supposed to pick an artist from the UNM Art Museum and one from like the textbook or links from our syllabus. I chose one from the Art Museum and the textbook. So my first artist is Gustave Baumann, and I'm focusing on his work Cottonwood Tassels. Gustave Baumann was a German-American printmaker. He uses woodcuts typically. And he would hand carve the woodcuts and make one for each color. He died in 1971, and so all of these works are at least 50 years old, if my math is right. Anyways, this particular woodcut is of a cottonwood tree, New Mexico. A lot of his works are on New Mexican landscapes, including New Mexican architecture. His color scheme tends to be very warm, using a lot of yellows and oranges. He also uses this lovely green that we see here with this blue. The purple is, as far as I could see, pretty unique to this woodcut. And is, if you've seen a cottonwood tree, is non-representational of what they look like, but it is a beautiful color and it sets a very nice, calm mood. And I think it gets across the atmosphere that he wanted to portray. My next artist is Dion, who has also created a print called 300 Million Years of Flight. You can see here, this is a screen print though. So I would say wood cutting is like a little bit of an older, and screen print is a little bit newer of a form of printmaking. Dion here created a screen print depicting technology and organisms that use flight. Flight, as most people define it, has only evolved 4 times in history, with birds, bats, and insects being around today, and then pterodactyls being extinct. To me, the visuals of the screen print reflect imagery associated with migration, such as monarchs and birds. With them all being displayed like this, it really equalizes their importance and puts them together in sort of their own like family. You see here, like, there's 2 different types of planes and missiles, and then there's a manta ray, which, uses propulsion from moving its body through the water to jump out of the water to create sort of a flying effect. You can look on here, it's sort of like a Where's Waldo to see like what kind of species you can identify. So bats are the only flying mammal, but you do see here there's a flying squirrel on it, and so what he defines as flight is very interesting, and you can see that here of like how he defines flight. So moving on to like how they promote their work. Gustave Baumann, of course, as I mentioned before, died in 1970s. And so he wouldn't have used, obviously he didn't use like social media or like videos of his work. But doing some research, he would create editions of his work and sell them. So that's sort of how he got his work out there, with woodcutting being a form of printmaking. Printmaking lends itself to being able to create multiple artworks. They're never exactly the same, but it lends itself to being a form of art that lets you create multiple editions that you can sell. Dion is not like just a printmaker. He made that print. He typically does works with museums and like exhibits. I haven't found a website for him. He has an Art21 profile and he does interviews, and so that typically is how he gets his work out instead of using like social media and video making. He also works with natural history museums, and so he really likes to focus on like nature and things. So those are my 2 artists that I chose. If we want to go back to this one and this one. So yeah, thanks for watching my video.